You are looking live at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, a daily chart, and it shows that the index is making new highs. It was up 224 points today, or 0.59% on a little below average daily volume. If I take a look at the weekly here, we can see what kind of a move the Dow Jones has made here. We can see this 36 952, which formed this nice cup and this handle shake out there. That was the October low. And then it's just been nothing but rally since. It was sideways and down 1 week. But yeah, very powerful move. I know it's only 30 stocks, but people feel good about themselves or 401k or whatever when the Dow and the S&P are at new highs. And I've got to tell you, when indexes and when stocks make new highs, they typically make them over and over and over again. And so to have, the S&P closing at a new high here today, that's significant. It was up 37 points or 0.76%. And again, on a little lower than average daily volume, but I expect it to make new highs. Why? I'm not a permabull. I'm not out of my mind. It's just that's what history tells us. If you look back, over at the history of the index, as it makes new highs the whole way, and then yeah, we had this little financial crisis problem, but once again, new highs, and then we had a little bit of a blip here, and then the COVID crash. But as long as it's making new highs, then we had the interest rates. Jerome Powell induced a bear market, nasty bear market here for about 11 months. And then, yeah, corrected, but now it's making new highs again. So that's what markets do over time. So don't get too excited about a new high or people screaming about it's overvalued. That's just kind of what markets do. I want to go to the Russell though, because the Russell, I'd said at the end of 2023, I thought the small caps would have a good year. And of course, they went down 4 straight weeks in a row. But I still think they're going to have a really good year because the rates are coming down. The Fed is going to lower rates. Inflation's below 3 now, and the interest rates are 5.25. So that they're just too high, and they're going to bring them down. That's they're going to speak Wednesday, and he probably won't say much. But the market knows that the rates are going to be lowered here as the year evolves. So I expect this index to cooperate here. You can take a look at the 10-year here. It's down now. I got to go to the daily. It made this peak here. It had this little like a little hockey stick there, and now it's starting to trend back lower, and that is the trend lower. Let's get it back below 4. It's at 409 now. Anyway, that's enough of that nonsense. The NASDAQ, it did not make a new high today. It looks like it did, but if you go back to the weekly chart, you can see the 16,212 here from 2021, November of 2021. And that still is looking like this right here is a nice cup with handle. Then you have the October lows. Now we've rallied. Yeah, it was down that 1 week and that's it. But it made a 52-week high. How about that? And it was up 172 points today, 1.12%. The volume was below average daily volume, but it was above the prior session. So that acts as like a follow-through day to me, in my mind. Doesn't have to be, overwhelming volume, just volume above the prior session. And that's what we had today. Anyway, let's take a look at the stocks. I'm going to go to the Super 6. This is Apple. Did not participate today. So it's kind of strange to see the NASDAQ up 172 points and Apple just floundering around here. But they have earnings on Thursday. So you're just going to have to wait for the data point. I wouldn't get too excited one way or the other if it, trades below its 50 or above. And you just got to wait for the data points and then let the stock settle after that. We're just gonna have to see what Tim Cook has to say on Thursday. Microsoft closed at an all-time high today, so that is bullish. They have more of an AI component than Apple does. And I said last year that I thought Microsoft would be the largest market cap stock, and it is. It overtook Apple and probably is going to widen its lead here as the year evolves. So anyway, Microsoft looks good. Another one of the Super 6 is Meta Platforms, closed above 400. So Microsoft and Meta, eclipsing that psychological, 400 number. So they both look really strong. Closing highs are good. Those are bullish. Speaking of which, Google 153.51, nice close today. Got that hammer candle there, 90%. Very nice. And I'm going to go to NVIDIA because NVIDIA is the king of AI. It's up after hours. I'm going to get to that a little bit later. But 627 was 627 the old high? No. Go back 628.49. Today it hit 624.89, so it's $4 below, but after hours it's above. So we'll have to wait and see tomorrow how NVIDIA trades. But this is one of my larger holdings, so I definitely have an eyeball on this one. It just broke out on this day of the 500, 504 area, and it made that nice 20% move up to 600, and it really crashed through 600 really impressively, and then pulled back on Friday to 605. But today had a nice day, 2%. And we're just going to have to monitor this one. It closed with a hammer candle there, 98% of the daily range. So we're going to have to take a look and see at NVIDIA tomorrow. AMD was struggling all day. It was floundering. If I go to like a 5-minute chart, you can see it's just wallowing here, going down, and then it went sideways, but it closed higher as the index closed higher. But they report earnings tomorrow with Microsoft there tomorrow afternoon. So there's going to be a lot of fireworks here. Hopefully Microsoft and AMD will talk about, their addressable markets and raising guidance and AI and all that. We need that to fuel a further rally here in technology. So it's going to be very important to hear what Microsoft and AMD have to say tomorrow. Another one that I had on our ready list here is MRVL. And I like it. People don't like when a stock breaks out, then returns to the pivot point, but it's pretty common. I would say about 50% of stocks do it. All it did on Friday was pull back to its 10 EMA, bounced 3% today. And if you take a look at the weekly chart, it's just starting to emerge out of this stage 2 base here. So to me, that it could easily make a move of 10% to 77 level, and even 20% up to like 85. That would not surprise me. They don't report earnings till March 1st. And the last semiconductor name I'm going to show, I've got a lot to talk about today, so I'm going to go through these semiconductor names fairly quickly. This is Broadcom, and it's up after hours as well. It had a 1% move today. It's just trying to emerge from this ascending base. Once again, it broke out, then pulled back near a pivot. I didn't put it on a ready list because I wanted it closer to the 10, but you can't always get what you want, right? Broadcom looks very strong to me. I have to get to these software names. We hit it big on our ready list today. This is a kind of, I shouldn't say a rare day, but it's a good day, when all of your stocks that are, on your ready list there that are software names. I had some oil names because you never know when the rotation's going to hit. And there are some oil and gas stock names that maybe I'll show a little later on that I'll get to. But I just wanted to go through Monday is one that, pulled back to its 10. This is what I talked about. Wednesday and Thursday, I should say, pulled back, didn't get close to its 10, not close enough for my comfort, but still a nice 5% move today. And, I think I had the buy point around 189 or 190, and now it's at 218. So to me, that's chasing a little bit. Snowflake is another one. Once again, gosh, I got to go to the weekly on these because this is a long consolidation. I mean, from 2022 here, this is 18 months of consolidating, forms this little cup shape, and then you got a flat base, which is essentially a handle, and you can see it's still near the pivot. It was up 3.5% today. Nice bounce. Once again, did not come back to its 10, but you can't get picky here. That's probably about its 8 EMA. If I wanted to change my moving averages here to an 8. So with technicians, you can kind of do it. Yeah, pull back to its 8 EMA. So, like I said, this is not exact science. I like to use the 10. Some people use the 8. But anyway, good move for Snowflake. Good day for our software names here. Datadog is another one that pulled back. I know some people got, they cramped their style a little bit, how it looked like it was going to break out. Then it pulled back 3 days in a row. I mean, it pulled hard below 120, and now the last couple of days have bounced. Now it's above all the moving averages, and everybody's happy campers. But when a stock consolidates for this long, you got to expect some fits and starts here. It's not, I don't expect it to just come up to its buy point and just rally, 20%. It already made this move, 50% move from like 80 to 120. So now it's consolidating in here. You can see that 3 weeks tight. And we're just gonna have to see how it plays out this week. But I like Datadog. I bought Datadog last week. It's not a big position, but I just like stock coming out of bases when they've been consolidating for a long time. Stage one bases, that is. So anyway, enough about me. Another one that we had on our ready list last week, and people were asking me about it today, so I wanted to cover this. It just had a flat base pattern. I had a 202 buy point on it, and now it's at 218. So to me, this is chasing. That's why I didn't want to put it on. The ready list, sure, if you own it, great. If you want to buy it here, you're gonna have to withstand maybe some turbulence, sideways action, or maybe even a pullback to the 10. So that's why I didn't put it on. I think it's a little far gone. I did put shift four payments on our ready list. I got to go to the weekly here because this is another one that's got this long consolidation. It's kind of like Datadog where it made this big move up. Now it's traded sideways. You can see 2-3 week tight areas. So that's tight trading for a long time. And that's what it looks like on the daily chart. Today, nice move though, 3.35%. We'll take that all day long. Thank you very much. App loving. It got some loving today. Broke out above this base. I don't know how many of you bought this. Up more than 5% though, but to me, this is still actionable. It's been consolidating there since September. It's got this double bottom base, a couple with handle base, and now it's just starting to emerge. So to me, that is still actionable. I did not buy it. No, I did not, but to me, it's actionable. And Cloudflare is the last software name I'm going to go through. And again, I got to go to the weekly. Whenever you looking and interested in buying a stock, you have to look at the weekly charts. It weeds out the noise. This one had once again a long consolidation. Here you see this double bottom pattern, then a flat base or consolidation, then you got a cut pattern. So you got pattern after pattern here. To me, this is still stage one. Yeah, pattern rec picks it up as stage one, and this is all the way from August of 2022. Okay, so this is it was $80 stock then, it's an 80 something dollar stock now. So this is a lot of consolidation for Cloudflare. But to me, that's good. Shows a prior uptrend. Now it's trading, consolidating within the uptrend, pulled back to the moving average. Net looks fantastic to me. I got to get to the drugs. I need some drugs around here. Viking. This is one that was upgraded today, I believe. Definitely on the buyout list. The weight loss, they have quite a few different drugs coming to market. I think 4 of them. But this is in the weight loss category, which is massive. And NVO reports Wednesday, and probably going to give a boost to all these stocks. Lilly is one that I have on our ready list. I believe it's still on our ready list. You can see it's just been consolidating. Since November. I mean, this is more than 3 months of consolidation for this big behemoth. This thing is ready to move. I mentioned Novo Nordisk starting to push away here. I had to buy area at 104. Now it's at 109, but to me, still actionable. If they deliver what I think they're going to deliver on Wednesday morning, a 10% move is not out of the question, up to 120 maybe. You can see it's quite gappy. It's gapped higher in the past, 17% on this day, 6%. So, it does have a tendency to gap. Anyway, that's enough of the drugs. No more drugs. Oh, I lied. EOLS. I wanted to show this one. This one was upgraded today, and this is how you want your stock to respond to an upgrade. And you can see, just technically that it was in this long base and pulled back. That's a nice little bull wedge pattern back to the 10. That is textbook stuff right there. And like I say, you got to go to the weekly here. So this is just emerging from a stage one base, and darn it, I missed it. And I think the reason why I missed it was because it was below $10 around here. I would have had that buy point about 953. So that's why I missed it. But anyway, keep your eye on EOLS, EOLS. It responded well to the upgrade today. And anyway, that's enough with the drugs. I got to go to another stock that I had on our ready list. And this is Sentinel One. And I was eyeballing that. First of all, the pullback to the 10, once again, this is like a bull wedge. This is why I say don't fear pullbacks, observe pullbacks for strength and bounces on moving averages. And we certainly got one here. Pullback to the 10, a nice bull wedge action. Took out the old high of 27.96. It sold off on a purchase. It bought ping safe and sold off, and now it's responding nicely. CrowdStrike once again knocking at the door of 300. Yeah, it went above it today. Okay, closed above it. All right, we'll take that. 3.5% move today. Very nice for CrowdStrike. To me, I think this is just going to go sideways for a little bit, and that's going to be pretty stiff resistance for CrowdStrike. But once above it, it's good to go. This is a Zscaler once again. This is surfing the moving averages just beautifully. This is just a trend trader's dream here. These pullbacks to moving averages, opportunities to buy, but as long as they surf these moving averages and the moving averages are heading north, you're making money. So, either you're in it or you're buying on dips or whatever. Zscaler is providing a lot of opportunities, as is CrowdStrike and Palo Alto Networks and the rest of the gang. I've got to get to the retail stocks because retails are my faves. ULTA, this is a stage 1 base here, folks, and it looks beautiful. Cup with handle. This is textbook here. It took a long time in the handle. That's what you want to shake out to moving averages. Had a nice week last week, and today fired up nearly 3%. So we'll take that all day long. Yeah, once it pulled back to its 50, it was up 4% last week and a nice 3% move today. So all systems go for Ulta Beauty. They don't report till March 14th. ELF is another one that I want to go through. I know some people own ELF and they just, sometimes you look at your computer too closely. Just get away from it. There's nothing wrong with ELF. Okay, it made a 3 weeks type pattern, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, and it sold off 4%. It made a lower low there from the prior low, not lower than this low, which is 125. The low on this one was 131. And then it rallied up and then went 3 weeks tight again. The last week's low was 143. So that's what you're looking for, is just higher lows and higher highs. The high here is 164.71. So you got to give this one time. They're going to report on February 6th, which is next Tuesday, I believe. But anyway, they're going to have to deliver about 70% sales growth, which is about 255 million here. And I think that'll really propel the stock. Remember, it was their Christmas quarter and they're starting to expand into Europe. They have new products. They bought an Ethereum, new demographics, new products. I mean, there's a lot going on here. I don't think this is climaxed yet. I could be wrong. It could be overvalued. It might only deliver 40% growth and it spits the bit, but we'll have to wait and see. To me, I like it. I own it. It's one of my top 5 holdings, and I'm just going to wait and hold. It's a pretty easy hold, I think. 131, like I said, I went 131 to 164, retrace that move, just going sideways. You just got to take your time with ELF. Texas Roadhouse made a new high today. Man, that looks good. I guess I've never been to Texas Roadhouse. People must like it. Yeah, cup with handle pattern. It's breaking higher. I can't recommend this one. This is gone. That's once again, this is what we look for here, in these shakeouts. Just shakes out the weak hands. The shares transfer from, the weak hands to the strong hands. They're buying all these shares as people panic sell, and then it just rips higher. This thing did nothing wrong. I don't see a sell sign there. Just pulling back to moving averages. So, man, I'm sorry if you sold that one. That one is a winner. Anyway, that's it for me today. No, I lied. I said I was going to go through some oil and gas stocks that I have in my ready list. This is one Vista Energy. I was flat today. It wasn't oils day, but it's setting up in a base here. You can see on the weekly, the big prior uptrend, some consolidation, some consolidation. Now it's got this cup shape pattern, double bottom, just kind of trading sideways, maybe a little shake out here to a moving average, but I like the looks of that one. Also, Weatherford, this is an equipment stock, and this one's got, once again, nice consolidation, pullback below moving averages, just trading sideways. It was actually up today. I saw it earlier, it was down. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This thing looks ready. When we get some rotation into oil and energy stocks, this will probably be one of the ones that does well. Now I'm done, except for I lied. In honor of the great Steve Jobs, I have one more thing, and that is SMCI reporting after the bell today. Just crushed earnings. They are doing what they normally do. They a couple weeks before earnings, they raise guidance. And then they get to earnings and they say, oh, it's stronger than we thought. And they really raised it significantly this afternoon. The EPS guidance and sales guidance is not even in the ballpark. And I think they have a new partner here. I don't know who it is. I believe it's Meta Platforms. I've got to look into well, first listen to the conference call and listen to see if they've divulged any information here besides just putting out the numbers. I just saw the numbers today, but with the SMCI, this is computer hardware. It's one of the leading stocks from 2023 and now up again, I don't know, 80%, 100% in 2024, just a monster stock. But anyway, I mean, I don't know what to say besides that if you don't own it, you can't really chase it here. Yeah, I mean, it's a strong stock. They're crushing earnings, but it is going to, I know what I was going to say. It is going to propel these stocks like NVIDIA because they're in business partners with NVIDIA. Yeah, NVIDIA's looks like it'll open tomorrow, maybe at a new high. I believe the old high was what did I say, 628 something. So that's always bullish when, one of the largest stocks in the markets opening at new highs tomorrow. AMD is another one they have business with, but they're reporting earnings tomorrow. So I expect a muted response there. Vertiv Holdings is another data center play. So if you didn't own SMCI, I think this is more actionable. If you don't own SMCI, I happen to own both of these, but this is just making what our friend Webby would call a shelf pattern here. And it looks like it's going to open up tomorrow at all-time highs, which is always bullish. And if you just take a look at the weekly, like I preach, you could see this big, massive move, consolidation, another massive move. And it really just consolidated for a couple weeks and it's moving higher once again. I listened to their investor day and I just see nothing but good things for this company. They did acquire a CoolTera in December. This is a really well managed company, well run. So anyway, SMCI, VRT, NVIDIA, just that complex is going to do pretty well. This is Intel, which sold off on their disappointing earnings. Even they're up on SMCI news. So anyway, that's it for me today. Dell is another one that's in that space. I was going to put this one on our ready list this morning, but I had so many that I just let it go. But it was forming that shelf pattern, and just a lot of these in the super micro space are going to do pretty well. You say which ones? Well, IONQ is one, Dell is one, Xerox, Logitech, but you always want to buy the leader. I like to buy the leader, and if I can't have SMCI, I'm gonna have to go to Vert. Yeah, 543. Man, I know some folks who bought those options at 550. So they're gonna be happy campers tomorrow. But like I say, if you don't have a SMCI, I think VRT is a pretty good auxiliary play for that space. Anyway, that's it for me. Never give up. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow's a new day, new highs are bullish.